Blockbuster was a movie rental store where people can just go and rent movies and video games. And yeah, if it's late, you pay a fine here and there, including, rewinding the tape. So that's a small price to pay, right? Cool. Now, when they start to smell themselves, that's when everything went sideways. Consumers were mad. You had people on YouTube were going crazy, making rant videos on Blockbuster. The prices, it was just out of control. The fees, late fees was just absolutely ridiculous. That's when the competition kicked up a notch. You had Hulu, Amazon Prime, and last but not least, Netflix. People keep saying that, oh, well, Netflix put them out of business. That's true, but here's the deal. It's not just those three groups, including Netflix. Redbox put the final nail in the coffin, put them in their grave. Anytime that you can rent movies and video games at a low price than Blockbuster, you knew that Blockbuster was in serious hot water. And there's no way they're going to get out of it. Redbox came, saw, went beast mode on Blockbuster. There's not a single flipping thing they couldn't do about it. So now Blockbuster is in the grave. Do we really need to get into G4 TV again? How they went out of business, how they went in a TV graveyard. The only thing I'm going to say this. If G4 Tech TV was still around in 2022, we would be celebrating its 20th anniversary. Let alone 20 years on cable TV network. And given how today's video games are now, I mean, as big as it's ever been. Man, you want to talk about golden era? Just imagine. But it's just a dream. It's just a dream. Now, Toys R Us, they're going out of business. When I was a little boy, I bought some toys at that store. But I went to that store more than I bought because they were expensive. Gee, I wonder why they're going out of business, because their products is still high. The price is so flipping expensive to the point it's unreal. So, it's crazy. It's crazy. Now, move on to movies. Sort of. James Cameron criticized superhero movies, being oversaturated, this, that, and the third. Well, he was taking specific shot at the Avengers. Maybe JC needs to worry about his own movies. He needs to do his own thing instead of, crapping on superhero movie genre. Oversaturation. Yeah, I get it. I hear y'all, but let's be honest. There are other genre movies that you can watch besides superheroes, right? And there's a thing called variety. And there's a other thing called bad movies are being put out nowadays. Now, granted, you have movies like Get Out, The Black Panther, and a few more to be exact, that has been a big hit. If you think about it, saving movies from being just hot garbage. So, Mr. JC, which is James Cameron, should be grateful and stop acting salty. Y'all see that trailer of Venom? It's supposed to come out this year, October 5th. Tom Hardy, he looks pretty good in that trailer as Eddie Brock Jr. And I know that somebody or a bunch of people are complaining about the word symbiote. Sony, it's symbiote. It's not a big deal. Memo to cbr.com website. I like y'all website, your articles. Y'all do a good job. Please, for the geek gods, please do not become the next Screen Rant. I beg you, don't go down that road. Don't put out these garbage, random piece of crap of articles like you did yesterday. It's so wrong in so many levels. Now I got that off my chest. Oh, wait. Screen Rant. With that list, 15 characters can defeat Naruto or stronger characters than Naruto. Boy! I don't know what to say to y'all. This is why I don't go to their websites and read their articles 98% or at least 99% of the time. You put out these because of the crap y'all do, this misleading titles, the clickbaiting tactic, jutsu BS that y'all pull. If it ain't those two things I just explained, it's something else. Grow up. Idiots. Anyhow, the Avengers Infinity War will be out in 2 days. Oh, I'm going to go watch that movie on Saturday. If it's good, I'm going to praise it and I'm going to say I was wrong about that movie. But if it comes across as disappointing or downright worse than Wonder Woman and Spider-Man Homecoming combined, I'm going to rip it to pieces. I will. And that's all I'm going to say. Video games, Spider-Man, PS4, coming out September 7th this year. Everybody's pumped up, hyped up, lit. I mean, let's do it. Let's go. I just hope it turns out to be a good Spider-Man video game. That's all I'm asking. Okay. I haven't played a Spider-Man video game since, Shattered Dimensions. The last good Spider-Man game was the PlayStation 1 Sega Dreamcast days. That's the last Spider-Man game I played that was actually pretty good. Let's see Spider-Man PS4 can do. Speaking of PlayStation 4, God of War. Everybody is talking about it. Everybody in their stepbrother and sister, half brother and sister, great grandparents talk about it. I mean, I'm hearing the words like a masterpiece. Oh my God, here we go with that word. Epic, another word that's overused and beaten to death. The greatest of all time, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, didn't we go through the same damn thing with Horizon Zero Dawn last year? In the year before with The Last of Us remastering and the original Last of Us on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3, etc. Oh boy. I want to get my hands on this game. I'm going to play it. And when I do, I'll let y'all know how I feel about it. Speaking of how I feel about a video game, Far Cry 5. I got done with that. I'm done with that game. I played it, beat it. Took me about nearly 26 hours. There's some good things about the game and there's some bad things. The things I just can't stand, the lack of the variety of weapons. They did the same crap they did with Far Cry 4. The enemies, they look the same. One of the boss fights of the Seed family can be really cheap. John Seed for good measure. Speaking of the Seed family, the Seed and the Eden's Gate, they weren't intimidating. They weren't this nasty, good villain or villains. They were just boring. And the story should have been a lot better. I'm not saying go all in with the politics and everything. No. I'm not like Polygon. Please believe that. But it should have been a lot better than that. You know, after you beat the game, there's no replay value. People say, well, you got the arcade mode, you got the online multiplayer mode. Is people really going to be playing that game 6 months or a year from now? I don't think so. I give this game a 4 out of 10. It's a bad game. Yeah, it's fun at times, but the bugs, the glitches, despite the fact where I'm driving 1 minute, next minute I'm out of the vehicle, despite the fact I never exit out the vehicle. Ubisoft, what are you doing with your games? This is supposed to be the best-selling game of the franchise. I'll move on. Now, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 been confirmed there will be no big fat no single player campaign. It's been replaced by Battle Royale, Fortnite, the PUBG, and they still keep the online multiplayer. A lot of people are not happy about that. I'm just shrugging my shoulders and be like, okay. Thanks, Call of Duty. Thanks, Activision. Now I can go play other games that is worth my time. That includes Treyarch. And people still put their faith and trust in Treyarch. You make one good game, which is Black Ops 1, and all of a sudden they're the greatest of all time. No. In my eyes, they will always be inferior. Just like a certain villain in Naruto universe, Kaguya Sasuke. Just saying. Now, before I go, there's some news in the real world. You know, the whole YouTube shooting. It's sad, but no one died. That's the best news of all. The mass shooting at a Waffle House in Tennessee. The black man who saved countless lives. Big ups to him. The Starbucks, what was it, hashtag boycott Starbucks, because the two black men was arrested for quote unquote trespassing, even though they only walked in that Starbucks, only been in there for what, 2 minutes? You know, people say it's a human issue, not a race issue. I don't buy that for a second. If it's a human issue, why do we see incidents like that happen over and over and over and over again? That's why I stay away from, racism, topics and stuff like that, because it's too much cherry picking, too much dancing around the issues, and people can't take a constructive criticism. We can't come together and have a decent conversation at all. I just stay away from it. And with that, throwing y'all a salute. I'm done. Oh, wait. In a little bit of sports. Carolina Panthers is tomorrow for the NFL draft. And the schedule for the Carolina Panthers, like I said, I saw it, and it was fair and balanced. I expect them to go 10-6. I really do. And the NBA playoffs is still going on. My Spurs being eliminated from the playoffs. I don't know what's going on with Kawhi Leonard, and I just hope he doesn't leave San Antonio Spurs. I really don't, but anything can happen. Greg Popovich, he's dealing with the death of his wife, so it's, pretty rough. My condolences goes out to him and the rest of the Popovich family as a Spurs fan, a basketball fan in general. So with that, throwing y'all a little salute. I'm done. What's your thoughts on this month's topics alone? Peace out.